Hey everyone, this is Jack. This is going to be a bar-by-bar review for the S&P 500 futures contract for today, Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. You can see my chart markup and comments for the day there. Starting with the daily chart, we've been in a strong bull trend. We're clearly always in long, but the trend has become parabolic, and that led to a two-legged move down to support just above the moving average. And we found aggressive buyers. We've reversed up. We have an implied pullback here and follow through, and then a couple of doji bars here. So coming into the day, this is what we saw. Yesterday, we tested near the all-time high close and high, went a little bit above, and closed around the midpoint range of the day. So we have a doji bar, and we have a doji bar for the day before as well. So we're having a lot of trading range price action up here, a lot of overlap, bad follow through, tails. So probably today is going to be some type of a trading range day. If we rally, I imagine we find sellers above the high, and if we sell off, I imagine we find buyers below the low. But if the bears are aggressive, they may be able to get a second leg down from this initial sell-off here and maybe reach the moving average over the next several days. But probably we find buyers below. We're always in long in a strong bull trend, all-time highs. We're probably going to form a broader bull channel here rather than a strong bear trend. And even if we trend down, we'll probably find either a higher low or double bottom and form a trading range. So on the 5-minute chart, we have bar 1. You can't see the body because it's covered with the opening plot line of the day, this orange line. But it's a doji. It's a perfect doji. The close is the same price as the open. And whenever you have bar 1, this doji, pretty good indication that the day will have a lot of trading range price action. Yesterday, we were in a trading range for the last part of the day, maybe a bull channel here, and we have 3 pushes up. So this could lead to a correction down. I imagine if we rally, we probably find sellers somewhere above the high. We found aggressive sellers at the all-time high yesterday. So it's likely that the bears are going to be looking for a second leg down of this. Possibly this correction is a big wedge bear flag on some higher time frame. So probably sideways here, we probably form a trading range on the open like most days. And there's no gap marker here because this gap is so small that my indicator doesn't even care about it. You just need to know that it's a small gap and it's probable that it'll close because it's small. So probably sideways to down. Bar 2, bear bar, tail above and below. Probably more down, but buyers probably not that far below 2. And then bar 3, a big climax. Testing the high close of the prior all-time high up here. And getting close to the trading range lows. And if we are in a bull channel, you could draw a channel line that would touch probably the low part of bar 3. So I imagine we find buyers at the close and below the bar, and we pull back and create a trading range. This is a good start to a trend from the open, but it's not that good. We have a lot of overlap here, tails, and a big climax. So that's likely to lead to a correction and a pullback. And that's what we have on bar 4. We went up and down. That could be a micro double bottom, a higher low. We did not go below the bar 3 low, so we might have to do that before we rally. But I imagine this is a candidate for an opening reversal up and a trading range, possibly a higher low in a bull channel. So reasonable to think about buying here. Bar 5 broke out but did not close above bar 4, so limit order sellers above bar 4 could get out without a loss. But the bar is big enough and strong enough that this tail could be part of a pullback, so probably we'll find some buy the close bulls here, or maybe bulls looking to buy a small pullback and looking for a test of the open of the day, possibly leading to a higher high in the bull channel or possibly a double top with the open of the day. We have a pullback and follow through, a lot of overlap here. Closing above the prior bar, so that's good. We'll probably get some more follow through and probably get around to the open of the day. But by the time we get there, this is going to look like a leg in a trading range. So probably sellers somewhere above the open of the day and the high of the day. Excuse me. Bar 7, a climax, another pullback. It's a parabolic wedge up. Possible double top with 1 if we turn down on the next bar. But it's a very strong bar. It could be by the close, but better to wait and see what the pullback looks like. And it looks like bar 8 broke out below and reversed up, so limit order buyers below this rally. But bar 8 is a warning. There's aggressive sellers up here. We have a double top with one, and we sold off. And because we have a bad sell signal bar, we found buyers below and at the moving average. So we could be trying to form a bull channel on the open here. We may get a new high of the day. We could go up and test the all-time high, this dashed green line. We have the Globex high very far away and the Globex low right about here. You know what? Let me make the bars a little bit bigger so it's a little easier to see. But bar 8 is strong enough that leads me to believe that it will get a second leg down. I'm not sure that it's a good sell to close bar, but there are probably sellers above the bar. For the bulls, this is a pullback, and they'll look for leg 2. We had 4 bars up. We have a 1 bar pullback, so we probably will get a few more bars up, possibly, but tight trading range likely because of the strength of bar 8. Small bull inside bar, a high one buy, but near the high of a trading range. I imagine we trigger the buy, but likely that we find sellers above these highs. This could lead to a pullback, and the bears could get a second leg down from 8. Bar 10, a good entry bar for the stop entry bulls, but if we turn down, we have the risk of a double top again. It could be by the close. We made a new high of the day, just barely, and we pulled back and closed inside of the range of these bars and the high. So I don't know. I think we pull back here. Possible double top if we turn down, and because of bar 8, I imagine sellers not that far above. But so far, the bulls are pretty strong, so it's a reasonable buy the close bar. You just got to be quick to make decisions when we turn down like we did on bar 11. Everybody sold to close. We have a micro double top, a bigger double top, and we're probably forming a trading range. It doesn't look like we're in a bull channel because we're not making higher highs and higher lows. I mean, we do technically have a higher high here, but it's more of a trading range at this point than a channel. So I imagine that we'll find sell to close bears. We might pull back, but I imagine we're going to test the low close of 3, possibly the low of the day. Bar 12, breakout pullback short, probably sellers somewhere above, but not the follow through that the bears were hoping for. I imagine we go at least a little bit lower, but possibly buyers down here, and this might be a trading range day rather than a trending trading range day. Because we have strong buying pressure here, and we have strong selling pressure. And when the market is evenly balanced like that, you got to be thinking that that balance could last most of the day and lead to a trading range day. So as bearish as this looks, it is not all that bearish, and there are possibly buyers around the low close and low of 3. Bar 13, pretty strong outside up bar, but a big tail on the top of the bar. Likely will lead to a leg in a trading range. Bulls will look for a second leg up and a test of the high close on 10. We've got trapped by the close bulls up here, or bulls buying the breakout up here on bar 11. So I imagine we pull back and get a second leg up of some kind, but likely to find sellers in this area. 14, pretty strong bull bar. Another reasonable buy the close bar, but you got to be thinking that as strong as the bears have been today, every time we get above the open of the day, we sell off pretty aggressively. You know, the open of the day, we had an initial drive down. We went above it for 1 bar, sold off aggressively. Up above it for another bar, sold off very aggressively. And here we are back above it. So it's very likely that we'll find sellers somewhere above the high of this bar or above these bars here. 15, turning down, bear bar, pretty strong close, but tail. We might pull back more here, test the high close, let the trapped bulls out before we go lower, but reasonable to be thinking about setting up a short trade, possibly buyers below 14. But I don't know, if the bears are this strong and they get a second leg down, we could easily get a new low of the day, and this might be a lower high in the start of a bear swing. So I think it's a better idea to be thinking about selling than buying here. 16, good entry bar and follow through with a strong close. I imagine we pull back. That's a point of clarity. We have 2 bars up, 2 bars down, 2 bars up, 2 bars down. It's likely we'll find buyers at and below this bar and pull back here for that reason. The rhythm of the market. 1 bar pullback, we might get another bar up, but I imagine sellers above 16 and probably above 17 as well. Bears get a second leg down, possible double bottom with the low close, the 13 low, the Globex low, so we may find buyers at and below this bar, but dangerous to be buying down here. This could lead to a breakout and a measured move down. It's a pretty good sell signal, and the trader sold a close of 17, and we're turning down from a pullback to the moving average, and that's characteristic of bear trends. So it's likely that we go sideways to down here. 19, buyers below, but probably just a pullback. I imagine sellers not far above, probably sellers above 18 at a minimum. Bar 20, follow through for the reversal, but weak and a lot of overlap. I imagine sellers around the moving average and above 20, and like I said before, above 18. Micro double top and a pretty decent sell signal bar. Reasonable to take the short, but I would be quick to get out. There are probably buyers below the lows. 22, strong breakout, likely to get some follow through here, but a new low of the day, likely to find buyers soon. And then a reversal up, pretty strong close, pretty strong bar, trapping the breakout traders back above the breakout points. Whenever you have a breakout on a trading range day and we immediately reverse up and close the gaps, very likely to lead to a trading range day rather than a meaningful trend that lasts a long time. So probably we get some follow through here. I imagine more sellers somewhere up here for a double top, but probably sideways to up for the moment. 24, a small bar, pulled back and did not reach the low close on 22. That might create a second leg up, but I imagine sellers somewhere above 22. Bull breakout, double top of 20, tested the moving average, pulled back. Pretty big tail on the top of the bar, likely sellers at and above the bar. 26, a climax, testing the low close on 22. Probably get some follow through, but again, probably buyers not far below 23, so dangerous to be shorting down here. And then 27, another follow through bar with a breakout down. Late strength, we have a very strong close and big bar on 26, very strong close and big bar on 27. And these are probably the strongest two consecutive bars that we've had all day so far, besides 15 and 16. And the context was a little bit difficult up here at the time. So is it sell to close? Maybe. I mean, if this is going to be a trading range day, we are going to close the gap. We'll find we'll find buyers at and below the bar and test the low of 23 at a minimum, possibly get all the way back up here to the high close on 25. 28, we're bouncing at yesterday's low. We have a double bottom, big double bottom, and probably this is a big trading range. So likely we'll find more buyers at and below this bar and go sideways up here for a couple of legs. Good reversal up and good follow through. Looks similar to 20. Problems, there's probably sellers not far above, and we probably pull back here. One good thing going for the bulls is after the reversal up on 28, we pulled back and tested the low close and reversed up. So we let out the bears that were trapped, and bears will probably wait and look to sell at some higher price before they sell again. After we get late strength and a reversal up, this is a good indication that we'll get a couple of legs sideways to up. The pullback and inside bar, pullback looks pretty weak so far. I imagine sellers above, and we go more sideways here. Probably buyers not far below 30, 29, or 28. Outside down and a weak close, closing inside the range of 30. So I imagine buyers at and below the bar for a trading range. We tested the low close again and bounced. That's a good indication that bears were buying back shorts down here. And bulls see this rally. Probably this is a pullback, and they'll look for a second leg, a test up to the 31 high at a minimum. 32 racing higher, could be a climax, a lot of overlap, not a very strong breakout with much distance above the highs of this tight trading range, but a good indication that we'll get a little bit more sideways to up here. We still run the risk of running into a double top when we get into the range of 25. Small follow through bar, not a very good sign for the bulls. I imagine we go a little bit higher, but we probably pull back here. And then 34, outside down, pretty decent sell signal, two legs up, double top, tested the high close at 25. Reasonable to take that sell. The risk is we've got a breakout and we might need a second leg. 32 and 34, 32, 33, breakout and follow through. This could just be a pullback. We may need to get a second leg up, and that's what we have with 35. Inside bar, but a strong close and a strong bull bar. Probably we go above 34. I imagine find sellers at these highs. And then 36, inside bar, and a doji, probably buyers not far below the bar. And then a third push up. This could be a small spike in channel. We have a wedge top, a possible double top, a bull breakout, but it's weak. So I imagine we find sellers not far above the bar, and we probably go sideways to down. Not a very convincing start to an always in long market. 38, breakout, closing above the high of the prior bar, so that's good. But a small tail, a small bar, and still in the range of 25, so we could still easily double top here. We also have the close of yesterday not far above. I imagine we get there and probably hesitate. 39 closed below the close of yesterday and has a big tail on the top of the bar. I imagine we'll find sellers above the bar. We have a double top with bar 17, a swing point on a line chart. So I imagine we start to go sideways to down soon. Another bull follow through bar. Pretty strong close, closing above the high. That's good for the bulls. Are we always in long? Well, I don't know. I mean, this looks like a leg in a trading range to me. You know, we missed the double tops here. We could possibly still be on a double top with 17. But right now, it looks like the market is trying to test the open of the day or higher. But not very convincing. The bulls need to do more. You know, we have problems with this rally. We have tails, bad follow through, a lot of overlap. And this is 3 pushes up. 1, 2, and 3. So we might have a failed double top that could lead to a measured move up. Or we might form a trading range and go sideways here. But if you're long, you got to be quick to make decisions. Outside down and a pretty good sell signal, 41. Possibly buyers below. Possibly we have support at the breakout point, the high close of 20, the high close of 25. But if this is a leg in a trading range, we'll test back down to the low of the climax, which would be the 37 low or the 34 low or low close. Good entry bar and follow through for the bears, but closing just above the moving average. A warning that we may form a trading range here and go sideways. But probably more sideways to down. Pretty good looking breakout so far. A smaller bar, pretty decent close, but very close to these lows. I imagine we bounce here. But trading range day, probably disappointing follow through, maybe buyers below, probably sellers above, even if we do pull back. And then 44, a surprisingly big breakout bar, getting vacuumed down to the low of the range. Same problem as before. You know, we have a new low of the day, a very strong, very big bar, but it's a climax. We have a complex leg down. We have late strength, late in this sell-off. We have a big rally and then a big down. So it's very likely that we find buyers at and below 44 and turn up on the next bar. Pretty good looking reversal up. We've got a shaved top. Aggressive buyers at the close of 44 all the way into the close of 45. I imagine we go higher. Probably this is the start of a swing up in a trading range. 46, good follow through. Probably going higher. We might pull back here, but I imagine buyers on the pullback will probably test up to the high of 44 at a minimum. Bulls will look for a minimum target of the moving average, the high of 44, probably the high close of 40. We got buy the close bulls trapped up there. Small follow through bar. I imagine we pull back, but pretty good looking rally. I imagine buyers somewhere around the 45 close or the midpoint of the rally overall. Outside down and a decent sell signal bar, strong close. We probably trigger the sell, but the risk for the bears is that this is the start of a swing up for the bulls, so there could be buyers immediately below. And the risk for the bulls is that this is a pullback, a 50% pullback of this sell-off. But we're pretty low in the range, so it's reasonable to be thinking about buying here. This leg would probably get a second leg up. 49, good follow through, good start to the second leg up. But maybe sellers above 48. We're right around the moving average, the Globex low, and the midpoint of the sell-off. So that's probably why we're hesitating. I imagine we find sellers not far above the bar. 50, follow through, breakout pullback, probably buyers not far below the low. May not come in until the 48 close. But I imagine the bulls get a second leg up here. Pulling back with 51. Possible 2 legs up in a trading range, and this could be the start to a swing down. But I don't know. Probably buyers below 49 and the 48 close. Did not quite reach the 48 close. We have a slightly higher low. This could be a bull channel. We may get a third push up and create a wedge top. So reasonable to think about buying here. Good entry bar for the bulls and a shaved top. I imagine we go above 50, probably to find sellers and pull back. 54, reasonable sell signal, but weak. It's small, and the context isn't very good. We're in a spike and channel bull trend. There's likely buyers below 54 and below 53. We have a pretty decent entry bar, but a big tail. This time we tested the low close on this pullback, and we bounced. And we have another swing point that is looking to be support as well. So there's probably buyers at and below the bar. 56, reversal up, strong close. Probably we test the high of 54, but we have 3 pushes up and we're trying to reverse and failing. So this bull channel may get bigger, and we may create a bigger third leg up in the channel. It looks like that's what we're doing. 57, good follow through. Looks like we'll probably break out here. Possible wedge top if we do not accelerate up. So the bulls need to be convincingly strong here. And it looks like they are. If you draw a trend line, we have a breakout of that trend line, and this is a pretty strong breakout bar. Probably buyers below the bar and around the midpoint of the rally. Probably we're testing the high close or the high of 41. Good follow through, possible double top, but likely to go at least a little bit higher. More good follow through, but a small bar. We probably pull back here, but buyers probably not far below 60. Sell signal, but weak. It's a doji. We tested the open of the day, and we're getting late in the day. If today is going to be a trading range day, it's likely to close somewhere around the middle. If today is going to be a bull reversal day, it's likely that we'll probably get above these highs and then close somewhere above the open. But if today has very prominent trading range price action, we may find more sellers up here, and we may close below the open. So that's the risk for the bulls. But probably buyers not far below. A pretty strong spike could lead to a channel. And we have buyers below, a high one buy, but a tight trading range, probably sellers not far above 61. And then a doji follow-through bar, not looking good for the bulls, probably sellers above again. Sell signal, but a doji, it's weak, probably buyers not far below. And then an outside doji bar, so sellers above, buyers below. We have a small spike in channel, so I imagine we go sideways to up, but probably better to be thinking about buying below things and selling above things. Sideways, and then buyers below, reversal up. Probably we get a new high in the channel, but probably sellers up there. 68, no surprise. I imagine we go below 68, either on the following bar or the next bar. Probably going to form a tight trading range here. We have 3 pushes up in a channel. We probably test down to the 67 low. We have 3 consecutive bear bars. I imagine we get a pullback and a second leg down and get to the moving average. And instead, we get to the moving average first. Double bottom 62, 72, likely buyers at and below this bar. But a doji, sellers above, probably buyers not far below. And a bull reversal bar, probably looking to test the high close and high of 68. I imagine we get there. We go sideways, and we have another bull bar. I imagine we go higher, but instead, we get sell to close bulls and sell to close bears. The problem now is we're back at the bottom of the range, probably double bottom, probably buyers below. Up and down on this bar, possible micro double bottom. I imagine sideways here, but probably sideways to up. And then a bull bar. I imagine we trigger the buy, but probably sellers not far above 76. And then sideways to up into the close. So overall, trading range day. You could say that the open had a trending trading range bear trend, which led to a big double bottom in a trading range and a bull reversal. Bull reversal day, that is, and that would be a reasonable way to look at the day. So what do we do tomorrow? Well, we've got another doji right at the all-time high. I imagine we go above today's high and probably find sellers. We could accelerate up, but I imagine that we're going to find profit taking up here, and we need to pull back. We haven't been to the moving average in quite a while, and based on the price action here, it looks like we could get there soon. But we could simply go sideways and drag the moving average up, or we could find sellers and we could race down to it. I imagine we'll form a broad bull channel, so probably we make a new high, pull back, another new high, and if not a bull channel, then a trading range is more likely than a strong bear trend. So that's my review. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.